Okay, everybody's coming right away, right on time. Okay, let me say hello to Belinda from Singapore. You are first today, Belinda. How are you?
I'm well, Ajahn, thank you. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Mm.
Can I help you with anything today?
Ajahn, I have more questions about Tanha. Mm, I realize the mind is like changing from Vibhava Tanha to Bhava Tanha, and then you switch to Kama Tanha. And I read that you do Chanda to overcome the Vibhava Tanha. Would Ajahn be able to advise and comment on this?
Well, in order to overcome your cravings, tanha, you have to use mindfulness and wisdom, or both. Normally, if you cannot use wisdom, then you use mindfulness first, like reciting a mantra. If you crave for a cup of coffee, for instance, and you know it's not the time for you to drink coffee yet, then you should go meditate instead. Butto, 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 watch your breath. Sit and meditate in meditation. If you succeed in meditation, your craving will subside. And then you feel normal. You don't feel agitated. You don't feel kind of uh, you know unhappy. Normally, when you crave for something, you feel unhappy until you get what you want. But instead of get what you want, you resist that desire and then go into meditation instead. Use meditation as your, your remedy, not not by getting what you want as a remedy. Because if you get what you want, then you will increase your desire the next time you want again the next time, and on and on. It's like an addiction. Everything is like an addiction. And the only way to overcome your addiction is to resist it, not to do what you desire to do. So this is what we use the mindfulness. Meditation is really the using of mindfulness. Mindfulness of breathing, mindfulness of the Buddha's name, Bhutto, Bhutto. If you can persist in reciting the mantra or persist in keep watching your breath, then when the when the mind calms down, the cravings will subside, will disappear temporarily, and you feel relief. You feel kind of feel like you're not under the pressure of your desire. But it will only last temporarily, and eventually it will come back again. But the more you resist, then the strength of your desire will decrease gradually. But it will not go away completely unless you use wisdom. Wisdom is the knowledge that your cravings is the one that is uh, creating your dukkha, your dissatisfaction. And you must not give in to your dukkha, your cravings, your tanha, forever. Once you know that, then you can overcome your craving for that particular object. You have to go from one object to the next. It's just not one kill all type of thing. You have addiction with coffee, you have to overcome that coffee desire. And you have addiction for watching movies, you have to stop that. Addiction for food, you have to stop that. You just go one at a time, one item at a time, until you get rid of all of them. If you see the wisdom that by uh, By giving in to your cravings, you are forever will be the slave to your cravings. The only way to liberate yourself from your craving is to resist it, not to do what it asks you to do. This is wisdom, seeing the Four Noble Truths. The truth of suffering comes from caused by the truth of the cause of suffering, which is the three cravings. And the path to the cessation of craving is the practice of vipassana and samatha and vipassana. So this is what you need to develop, learn how to meditate, so you can use it as the first defense when you get your cravings. As soon as you know you get craving, you start reciting your mantra or go sit and meditate. And then when you succeed, your craving will stop temporarily. Then when your craving stops, then you compare the state of your mind when craving arises and when it ceases. You'll see the difference. That when there's no cravings, the mind is peaceful and happy. As soon as there are cravings, your mind becomes agitated and restless. So you need to overcome your cravings at all times. And by seeing the truth of the Four Noble Truths, that the only way to kill your suffering from your craving is to use mindfulness and wisdom. Wisdom is to see that the satisfaction that arises from getting what you crave for is temporary, anicca, and when it disappears, it creates dukkha again. And they are like this. Everything in this world, they are anatta. They can never fulfill your desire. They only give you temporary satisfaction, and when they disappear, dukkha will follow. So once you see this, then you will be able to teach your mind to resist your cravings, your tanha. Okay, good enough? Anything else? Oh, we'll go with one question first, okay? Because there's so many people waiting. So when the next round comes around, if you have another question, you can ask later on. Let's make it this rule, okay? We'll just do it one question first. And also tell me where you come from if it's possible. I'm keeping a statistics of people attending the meeting. So far we have about 30 nationalities. Not at the same time, but as we keep the statistics of different people coming into the meeting, we have about 30 nationalities from 30 countries. So let me say hello to the next person is Claudia Schreiner. Hi Claudia, you're from Germany. You have to unmute your microphone. Can you unmute it? If you don't have any question, it's okay. Just wave, just give me a hand signal. If you want to ask, then you have to unmute your microphone. Okay.
Namaskaran. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you speak
Okay.
louder? Can you speak a little bit louder? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Put the microphone close to your mouth. Yeah, okay, good.
Better now?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Yes, I'm from Germany. I live next to Nuremberg. I have no questions today. I will look forward to listen to your teachings.
Okay, thank you. And let me say hello to Mudita from Thailand. Hi, Mudita.
Namaskar ค่ะ I'm from Bangkok.
Okay, any question?
Yes, ท่านพระอาจารย์ when we do chanting or recite mantra, so someone have told me that when we do chanting, we should only focus on the Pali words, but not to think of the meaning. But then we should look at the meaning later after we finish chanting the mantra, because so we can get into, we have the mindfulness or samadhi is it a good way to chanting like this by not thinking about the meaning first?
It depends on what you want.
Hmm.
If you want just mindfulness, you can just chant Pali or even chant in Thai if you like. It doesn't matter which language, because by chanting these verses, they can calm your mind. So you can chant in Pali. If you don't know Pali, chant in English. When I started, I recited the 4 foundation of mindfulness in English.
That's very long.
Yeah.
Like very thick.
But
Yes.
I get both. I get mindfulness, and at the same
Right.
time, I get understanding of the sutta, what I'm reciting about. So I get both wisdom and mindfulness at the same time. So it depends on what you want.
Okay. So at first, maybe I should chant in the language that I understand first, so I will understand the teaching as well.
Yeah, that way you can understand the teaching too. But if you happen to be chanting with other people, then you have to chant the same language. If they chant in Pali, you have to chant in Pali with them. But when you're alone, you can do it any way you like.
Okay, that's very very wise, Thampa Ajahn. I will follow your teachings and practice it.
Okay.
That's all from me today.
All right.
Sadhu.
Let me say hi to Kar Fai Lim from Malaysia or Singapore, I'm not sure. Please identify your country of origin.
Good day to you, Ajahn. I'm from Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur.
Malaysia. Can you put your microphone closer to your mouth? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Can you hear me today?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I have questions today in regards to the meditation. It's more like the approach that I use. Sometimes when I started with the mantra Buddha, it may take like maybe 10 or more minutes to come down the mind. But sometimes when I just notice the mind as it goes without taking care of, without really pay too much attention to it, the mind will eventually much more quicker to come than using Buddha. And then when it reaches the calm state, it seems to me that the time to use different situation may not need Buddha. So may need your advice on that, if that is the practice approach is correct.
Well, the nature of the mind is constantly changing. Sometimes it's stubborn, sometimes it's obedient. So it depends on the situation, whichever way you can calm your mind, then it's okay. You don't have to stick with the same method all the time.
And I also do notice that whenever I have after my workout, like exercising, it will be very very natural that the mind will seek for meditation, and that even without using Buddha, it will be very easily get into calmness, especially after the intense workout. Yeah, that's what I notice.
Yeah, you should keep watching and observing the nature of your mind and find that how to calm it. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's difficult, but you must not relent. You must just have to keep on trying.
Okay, that's all, Ajahn.
And don't expect that it's going to be easy every time. Sometimes when you expect it to be easy, it becomes stubborn and it won't yield to what you tell it to do.
Yes.
And then you can become frustrated. So you don't fall into this trap because you're expecting too much from it.
Yes.
You expect easy but then it turns out to be not easy.
Yes.
Then you can become angry at yourself, angry at your mind. And that make it even worse.
Yeah.
So you have to be flexible, not to expect anything from your mind every time you meditate.
Yes.
Just expect from yourself, expect from your mindfulness, and then let the mind decide what it wants to behave, how it wants to behave. Easy or hard,
Okay. Okay. Sadhu.
Right. Hello, Mudita from Canada. Hi. This is your first time? Please unmute your microphone first. There's in front of your screen, I think they say unmute microphone. Unmute. If you don't have, it means when you enter the room, you did not click on the using the computer audio. So your sound doesn't come through. Okay. Now.
Is it coming through now?
Yes, it's okay now.
Okay. Hi, Ajahn. Yes, this is my first time live. I've been listening to the recorded talks. And yeah, so my question is about walking meditation. Over the last few weeks, I have not been able to sit because of physical, my knee is giving me problems. So I've been walking and now I'm having pain in my hips from walking. So I'm wondering what to do, where to focus my attention.
Can you sit on a chair instead? If you cannot sit cross-legged?
Okay, yeah, I can try.
Yeah, you can meditate sitting on a chair if you cannot sit sitting on the floor.
Okay.
If you cannot sit, you can lay down and meditate, but there's just a drawback there because you can easily fall into sleep when you're in a lying position. But you can still meditate. You have strong mindfulness. Like when you're sick, sometimes you can still meditate. When you're sick, you cannot do anything lying in bed. And you can stop your dukkha from getting sick by meditating, calming your mind. So actually you can meditate in all four postures. But the preferred one are the walking and the sitting or standing. Standing, you can only stand for so long. After a while, you get tired of standing. So walking is good if you can, but walking can give you more mindfulness, not samadhi yet, not full concentration, not full absorption. You want full absorption, normally you will have to sit or standing, but standing is very rare. We usually sit when we want full absorption. So you just have to adjust according to your physical states, I guess. If you cannot sit, you have to walk. If you cannot walk, you stand. If you cannot stand, you lie down.
Okay.
But so the goal is to have to maintain mindfulness, to train your mind with mindfulness.
So if I'm
go ahead.
Sorry. So if I'm walking and I have pain in my hips, I should not concentrate on the pain. Is that right? I should still concentrate on the bottom of my feet. Is that the better way to do it?
Because sometimes if you focus on your hip, on your pain, it might create more dukkha because you want the pain to disappear. And then it will be more miserable for you. But if you ignore the pain and keep concentrating on your feet or on the mantra, then the pain will not bother you because you pay no attention to it. But if you physically have to deal with it, then you have to deal with it. I mean, you cannot sort of fight against the ailment. If you have to fix, you have to go see a doctor or do something about it, you have to do it. Because if not, you might become crippled or something. So this is also another consideration in your practice. Unless you want to become a sotapanna and say, what the hell, it's not my body. I'm gonna let it be, whatever it is, Then you might just ignore the conditions of your body and let go of your attachment to your body. Then you can become a sotapanna that way.
Thank you.
Okay, is that clear enough?
Yes.
Okay. If you have another question, please wait for the next round, okay?
Okay.
All right. Let me say hello to Kenneth Hunt from Switzerland. BME, what's that, for mechanical engineering, bachelor?
Yes,
Oh, wow.
Ajahn. Good afternoon. Sorry, I seem to have logged in with my university.
Yeah.
That means biomedical engineering.
Oh, biomedical engineering.
Yeah,
Okay.
no relevance for this. Yeah, we're just preparing exams now, so the students have been taught they have to now take the test. So it's the examination period.
Anything you want to say or ask?
I have no question today, Ajahn. Thank you.
Okay.
Just listening. Thank
All
you.
right. Nice talking to you.
Thank you.
Hi, Philip and Adeline from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. How are you?
Thank you, Ajahn. How are you, Ajahn? Good evening.
Thank you.
I don't have any questions tonight. I'm just listening.
Okay. Let me say hello to Forrest Tom from Massachusetts. You shave your head, Forrest? What
Yes.
happened?
Oh, I never get haircuts. I just shave it myself. So
Oh,
it's
really?
easier.
Save some money, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Good evening. How are you?
Good.
I have a question today, which is that how come that even if the mind knows that the happiness from meditation is superior to the happiness from sense pleasures, how come it still doesn't want to give up the sense pleasures and would rather give up the concentration?
Because it's easier to get the happiness from sensual pleasure, even though it's just temporary. And it's much more difficult to get happiness from meditation. So that's why people cannot give up the sensual pleasure easily, because it's easy to acquire, and also they are addicted to them. That's the problem. The main problem is addiction. We are addicted to them, and in order to keep the habit, it's painful, and we cannot replace it with meditation. It will be more difficult. So you have to concentrate all most of your effort in developing your meditation practice, so that you can use it as a replacement of your sensual pleasure. So that's why people have to force themselves to go into retreat. Nobody likes to go into retreat. Unless you already have some success in your meditation, then you might want to go into retreat. But at first, when you don't have it, you just have to force yourself to go into retreat. 5 days, 7 days, 1 month retreat. The longer, the better. And when you're in retreat, try to train yourself with mindfulness. First, don't worry about wisdom so much. Just mindfulness is the real thing that you want to do when you first go into retreat, so that you can then sit in samadhi and enjoy the fruit of your meditation, which is peace of mind and calm and happiness. So this is what you have to do. At least now you have faith in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, in their teaching. You believe that the happiness from meditation far better than the happiness from the sensual objects. If you believe this, sincerely believe it, honestly, then you might be able to force yourself to go into retreat. Try to resist your sensual pleasures, your urge to get sensual pleasures. If you can do this, I think you will be able to eventually overcome your cravings for sensual pleasures. If you succeed in your meditation, you have to be successful. You have to be able to find peace and happiness when you meditate. Then we can place this happiness with the happiness you used to get from sensual pleasures, or happiness from being somebody or being something, happiness from not being something. you can replace it by the happiness from meditation. Then you can, once you get this, then you will be able to go up the next level with developing wisdom or insight. Keep reminding yourself the nature of the sensual happiness. They are temporary. They are not something you can always have at the tip of your command. Sometimes it comes, sometimes it doesn't. When it doesn't, you have dukkha. So when you see the nature of sensual pleasure as being anicca, dukkha, anatta, then you say you would rather not have anything to do with it. Like they are like drugs, like alcohol. Once you are hooked on it, it's very difficult to get free from it. So when you see this with wisdom, then you will be afraid. You don't want to have anything to do with sensual pleasure, or being, or the happiness from being or from not being something. All right?
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Let me say hello to Jie Ying. I think it's Alvin Lee, I think.
Hey,
From Malaysia.
good evening, Ajahn.
Is
How
that
are you?
your daughter's name or your wife?
Yes, I didn't know she used my device. Sorry, Ajahn. Yeah. Ajahn, I think I've asked you before this question just as a reminder again. It's just like the practicing of 4 foundation of mindfulness. I think Ajahn, you said when you practice 4 foundation of mindfulness, you're actually practicing mindfulness, samatha, and also vipassana. Is that correct, Ajahn?
Not at the same time, but
Right.
the 4 foundation of mindfulness teaches us how to train in mindfulness, how to sit into jhana, and how to develop insight, step by step. First step, you develop mindfulness first by watching your body action. Whatever you do, you keep watching your body as the object of your mindfulness. Or you can use other objects like a mantra, Bhutto, Bhutto, or reciting the 32 parts of the body, whichever method you like to use. These are all methods of mindfulness, so that your mind will be able to enter into jhana, to samadhi. Once you have samadhi, then you want to study the nature of the body as being anicca, dukkha, anatta, feelings as being anicca, dukkha, anatta, and the status and the states of mind as being anicca, dukkha, anatta, so that you can then let go of your attachment and your cravings toward them, for them. Leave them alone. Then you will have no dukkha when things happen to them. Okay?
Okay, thanks for the refreshment.
I mentioned the 3 objects of foundation of mindfulness, not the 4th. The 4th is automatic. The 4th are the Dhamma that we are developing, like mindfulness and samadhi and wisdom. So they are not the objects that you want to let go of your attachment. They are the tools that you want to use to let go of your attachment. You need the Dhamma. You need the mindfulness, you need samadhi, you need wisdom. These are the Dhamma in the 4 foundation of mindfulness.
Okay, mindfulness, okay, samadhi, and wisdom.
And
All right,
wisdom.
thanks.
Okay.
Thanks for the refresh. Thank you.
All right. Let me say hi to Jeremy. Hi, Jeremy. You from Malaysia? Oh, you have to. Okay.
Yes, I'm from Kuala Lumpur.
Okay.
No question today.
No question. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, Sri and Czech from Vancouver.
Hello, Tanaja.
Hi, Tanajan. How are you?
Hi, how are you? Good morning to you.
Good morning,
Must
good
must be
evening.
early for you, 5 o'clock, 5:30.
Yes.
5:30, Tanajan.
Okay.
Yes.
Any question yet?
Yes, I have a question. Is one of the charana of Buddha is contentment. Like, what kind of tools that Buddha used, like, in order to feel like content?
Contentment is equanimity. See, when you have equanimity, you have contentment. You have no love, hate, fear, or delusion, no cravings. But this contentment can be temporary or permanent. See. You can get contentment from jhanas. This is temporary. And you can get contentment from vipassana, wisdom. When you finally get rid of all of your defilements, your cravings, then the mind will become fully content. Because the craving is the opposite of contentment. Yeah. When you crave, you're not content, right? When you have no craving, then you have contentment in this place. So you don't have to worry about contentment. You just have to worry about getting rid of your cravings. They're the problem. And then contentment will appear naturally.
Oh, okay.
But you have to need to develop mindfulness first to get temporary contentment from jhana. From the fourth jhana, you have equanimity. So this is what we all have to do, and which we all want to avoid doing is to meditate to get to the fourth jhana, because it's so difficult. So we just don't want. We try to find some other ways of going around it, but there's no way of going around it. You just have to.
I thought we have a shortcut, like from Buddha or something.
Yeah, everybody's. There are many teachers teaching you can avoid samadhi altogether and just go directly to vipassana. But it won't be real vipassana. It will be just fake vipassana, because it doesn't have the equanimity to help assist you in getting rid of your cravings, to get to the real contentment.
Yeah, okay.
All right. How about you, Sri?
Uh,
I'm in Czech. Sorry.
Tanajan, the level of equanimity for samadhi and vipassana is different. Like when you reach the equanimity for when you reach fourth jhana, and the equanimity that you gain from vipassana, are they different?
They are temporary and permanent.
Oh.
You get, when you enter fourth jhana, you get equanimity, but when you come out, the equanimity will gradually fade away, because you start to think and you start to have defilements working again. So then this will destroy. But with the vipassana, you get rid of the defilement itself, the one that keep destroying the equanimity you get from the jhana. See? So when there's no defilement, then there's nothing to disturb the equanimity that you have developed from jhana.
Tanajan, I have a hard time. I guess it's not my level yet, but I have a hard time understanding how vipassana can permanently, like how by
It
teaching.
teaches your mind not to crave, not to desire. It's your desire that keeps creating restlessness and agitation and unhappiness in the mind. Once you get rid of this with vipassana, once you realize that what you crave for is actually causing you dukkha, not happiness. It's like if you buy a drink and you read on the label that it can cause cancer. Would you drink it? You won't. But if there's no label that says it's causing cancer and you like this drink, you keep drinking it, right?
Yeah.
So vipassana is to tell you the truth of the nature of things that you're involved with, that they are causing dukkha for you because they are impermanent, they are anatta. See? They don't last. They are brief happiness and then they disappear. And anatta, you cannot force them to be long lasting or force them to be under your wishes.
Right. Yeah, that's really brilliant analogy. Like finally I get a glimpse. Thank you for this. Yeah.
See, vipassana teaches you to see that what you crave for are harmful to you, not good for you. But you're like children, you cannot read the label. So you take poison and you drink it, without understanding the label that is put on the bottle. But when you grow up, you learn that this label means danger, right? When you see a skull and with a crossbone, you say, "Oh, this is dangerous."
Poison.
You don't want to touch it. You don't want to drink it. This is vipassana in the worldly terms.
Okay.
Like all the sign that tells you when you drive on the road, there's a danger. The flash. This is vipassana, telling you to be careful. So, but we don't have the vipassana for the mind. That's the problem. The mind of worldly unenlightened people don't have this flashing light inside to remind them that this danger, they're in danger zone. But with an enlightened person, this flashing light will come up all the time as soon as it run into any objects, any sensual objects. And as soon as it have any emotional reaction to it, then they are creating dukkha for themselves. So they know. See. They know that everything is temporary. Everything in this world is temporary. The happiness you get from them is temporary. And when you lose them, how do you feel like when you lose something you love, someone you love? Happiness that you have from them will disappear, and in place will be sadness. But you don't think ahead of time, see that this person is gonna be gone one day, or you're gonna be gone from them one day. And what happened when that happens? So you have to think ahead of time. Teach your mind now. Try to think of everything as anicca, dukkha, anatta. Try to read the label. The label is there, but you don't see it. That's the problem. See? And anicca, you see changes all the time. You don't see in this person, you see in another person. You don't see in this thing, you see in other thing. They're the same thing. They are all anicca. They are all anatta, not under your control.
But when we don't have samadhi, it's all fake wisdom, right? Like when we are listening to your talk, even though we feel that we understand, but it's still fake wisdom because we don't have the equanimity to teach our
Because
mind.
your time you spend teaching your mind is very brief, just when you listen to Dhamma talk. But as soon as you stop, you're being guided by your delusion again. You start thinking about the thing in your refrigerator. What am I going to drink? What am I going to eat? Think of the thing on the TV. What am I going to watch? You're guided by your delusion. As soon as you stop listening to Dhamma talks or reading Dhamma books, because your mind hasn't yet installed the Dhamma inside your mind. See? You have to rely on the Dhamma outside from Dhamma talk or reading books. So that's why you have to practice installing vipassana, installing Dhamma inside your mind by contemplating on anicca, dukkha, anatta. But you cannot do it because your mind is not strong enough, because your mind keep being pulled away by your defilement, your delusion. So you need to develop mindfulness to to pull your mind back toward the Dhamma.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
so great.
Thank
Great
you.
analogy. Thank you, Ajahn.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Hello, Joseph Chi from Malaysia. Hi.
Hi, Ajahn. Yes, from Malaysia. How are you?
Fine, thank you. And you?
Yeah, I'm good. Today I don't have questions yet, just listening.
Okay. If you have, maybe later on you can ask.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Hi, Edwin Tan from Singapore, right?
Hi, good evening, Ajahn. Yes, I'm from Singapore. Ajahn, today I'd like to update you a bit of my progress. I find that the more I practice being mindful, the more I realize that I'm not mindful of a lot of things. Like when I'm walking, at some point I can feel that I'm calm, I'm peaceful. And then later I start to realize that actually I'm not really calm. Like I'm only able to see a certain layer, and that's why it looks calm. Sometimes when below it comes up, and I start to see that the tendency to walk fast or to walk in a certain way or to move in a certain way is because of my defilements. And I have a lot of blind spots. And sometimes when I see these blind spots, I tend to be a bit frustrated myself. And then I start to see that, okay, it leads to a not so good spiral. It will actually dilute my concentration. So I try to concentrate on my walking, what I'm doing. But the more I see, the more I realize that there's actually a lot of these layers that's moving, that's pulling me around. And because they have been hidden from me for a long time now that I see them, it takes a lot more effort than before to be more concentrated. So as I practice, it feels that it takes more and more concentration, or rather, I need to develop more and more concentration and not just be contented with how I feel now, how it feels, that even when it feels calm, there's still a lot more that I cannot see.
You cannot let go of your mindfulness. Yeah. It's not something that you can just say, okay, I have enough mindfulness. Mindfulness should be ever present eventually. That's the goal of developing mindfulness or training in mindfulness, to train the mind to be ever mindful. So when you're in the process of training, sometimes you get tired. So you want to stop, which is natural. But then you have to tell yourself that you have to keep on continuing training with mindfulness until you have sampajana. Sati sampajana means continuous mindfulness. That's the goal, to be mindful all the time, from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep. So sometimes it might feel easy, sometimes it might feel hard, because you might have some mental fatigue, perhaps. It might make you feel tired. So you might be able to switch to different methods of mindfulness, which requires less exertion or energy. Like if you recite mantra, you might get tired of reciting. You might switch to watching your body, for instance, what you do. Or if you like, you can sit down and close your eye and watch your breath to calm your mind that way. So you have to sort of switch back and forth between walking and sitting, and with what you have to do in your daily life, your daily activities. But you always have mindfulness whatever you do. So do what you have to do. And then if you don't have to do anything, if you cannot sit and meditate, then you have to walk and meditate instead. Until you walk until you're tired, then you can come and sit and meditate again. But there's always that resistance. The defilement will keep fighting against your desire, your practice. So it can cause you to feel frustrated, cause you to feel unhappy, and so forth. You have to understand this is the defilement way of trying to get you to stop practicing. So you must ignore these bad feelings and keep on practicing. Okay.
Yeah, Ajahn, can I clarify about mindful eating? So I noticed that recently when I was eating, it seems that each mouthful I thought I was doing mindfully, able to feel that the food was the earth, not having that salivating sensations anymore for now. But then I realized I'm eating. Now I'm able to see that in a span of a short eating one meal, there can be almost 50 or even more instances the mind tries to pull me around. Sometimes very subtle. It makes me eat faster as a result of this subtle thoughts. So if I'm being mindful and eating when I'm aware of all these thoughts, do I just continue eating, or do I have to push them aside? Let's say with butto or breathing, or do I put more exertion and see my food and eat what I'm eating?
Well, it depends on what you want. If you want just to develop mindfulness, you just keep watching what you eat. You swallow, you bite the food, put the food in the mouth, you bite it, you swallow it, and you keep watching it. This is method of mindfulness. But if you want to go into vipassana, then you have to look at the food that you eat. That you don't want to eat with cravings, for instance. You want to eat like taking medicine. Food is like medicine for the body. So you should not enjoy it if it's possible. And the way not to enjoy it is not to choose the food that you like. Try to eat the food that you don't like, but they serve the same purpose. Get rid of your hunger and maintain your body. So this is something you want to do if you practice vipassana. But with mindfulness, you just want to use your action of eating as an anchor up to your mind, to start your mind from thinking about other things at the same time. If you use mindfulness, you don't analyze what you're doing, because then this is not right mindfulness. The right mindfulness is not to think. So it depends on what you want. Sometimes you get mixed up. Sometimes you want to develop mindfulness, but you end up analyzing your eating, and then instead of getting mindfulness, you're getting all kind of thoughts coming up, which might be useful later if you want to develop vipassana to control your cravings for food. But if you want to use it as an object of mindfulness, then you don't want to analyze or think about what you eat. Just watch what you eat. You want to stop thinking. That's the purpose. If you haven't yet the ability to control your thought, you have to try to stop it from thinking first. Once you have the ability, once you can enter into jhana, then when you can come out of jhana, then you can direct it to analyze whatever you want to analyze in terms of Dhamma, in terms of anicca, dukkha, anatta. But if you have no mindfulness strong enough, you will not be able to force or direct your mind to analyze in the way of the Dhamma. Your mind will still want to think of in the way of the defilements of the delusion. So I hope you understand that these practices sometimes they can be vipassana, sometimes they can be mindfulness. So you have to know first of all, what are you after right now? Are you after mindfulness or are you after vipassana? If you are after mindfulness, don't think, just keep watching your object of mindfulness. Okay?
Thank you very much, Ajahn. That was very, very helpful.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next, Suchart Ka from Silver Spring, Maryland. Hi, how are you?
How are you, Ajahn?
Good. And you?
I'm doing fine. Thank you very much. I have one question about the sitting meditation. That I start sitting with a straight back, and do I keep maintaining the straight back, because that kind of takes my attention away from that? Is there any issue with that not to slouch?
Not really. When you first started, before you meditate, when you sit and getting ready to meditate, you just sit in the right position. Keep your back straight, but not tense. But once you start to meditate, you can forget about the body entirely. Don't pay any attention to it. Even if you feel like it is slouching or if it's leaning to the left or to the right, don't try to fix it, because it will disturb your meditation, your concentration. Once you start concentrating on your breath or on your mantra, then you forget about everything. Whatever comes up, ignore everything. Just pay attention to your mind, to your meditation object, whatever it may be. If you're using your breath, just keep watching your breath. If you're reciting a mantra, just recite the mantra. Forget about everything.
And also right now, if the knee pain or any pain comes, I actually just ignore them.
Everything, yeah. Right? Because you want concentration. See? And if you have concentration, then your mind can ignore, will not be disturbed by anything. But if you cannot concentrate, then your mind will be distracted by this and that, and then eventually will not be able to continue on sitting, and will not be able to enter into jhana or samadhi.
I have seen that, like when I'm sitting in half lotus, starting out with half lotus, and if the pain comes in the knee, then as if somebody is suggesting, why don't you change your posture to like a kneeling position or something like that? That is also kind of like a hindrance, isn't it? Like that is defilements are suggesting to change the posture so that your concentration is affected.
Every time you come back to the body, you're starting over again. See? It's like driving for 10 miles and then you take a U-turn and come back at the starting point again. So you're never getting very far if you keep switching your body posture. Once you leave the body, the goal is to leave the body. See? The mind, when you meditate, you want to pull the mind away from the body, not to go back to the body. In order to enter into jhana, the mind has to be disconnected temporarily from the body. So you're in the process of pulling your mind away from the body, not back toward the body. So once you start meditate, it's like a rocket. You're leaving the launch pad. You don't want to come back because you forget you're slipping back or something, Once the rocket lift up, you forget about what's happening on Earth. You want to go into space. Same thing with meditation. You want to go into the space of your mind. You want to go into the spiritual realm. That's the space of the mind. You want to leave the body. The body is like a launch pad for your mind. So you don't send your rocket back to the launch pad every time you want something, So before you start, make sure that you sit properly, and tell yourself that I'm sitting properly. So once you meditate, then you can forget, because sometimes your defilement will say, hey, maybe you're leaning too much to the left, you're leaning too much to the right, you should move it. Or sometimes you feel some scratch and you feel a little scratchy here and there, or feel a little pain here and there. you want to move it. You know? These are all distraction to bring you back to the body, not toward the space of your mind. So you have to keep watching your breath or your mantra. This is the engine that will drive your mind into the space of the mind, into jhana. Okay?
Thank you, Ajahn. That's
And
all.
besides the body, when you meditate, there might be images or anything that might appear in your mind. You should also disregard them, ignore them. Sometimes you might be bright lights. Sometimes you might have some sound or something, whatever that appears. Just ignore them. Just keep concentrating on your meditation object. Never leave your meditation object. The goal is never leave it. Stick with it. Don't go analyze things that appears in your mind. What is this? Is this a spiritual being? It's so forth. Yeah. Don't pay attention to anything. Just stick with your meditation object. Then eventually it will leave everything behind and enter into the emptiness of space of your mind. Okay? It's simple, but nobody tells you this. So you, every time you meditate, when you see something or you start getting involved with everything you see. So you never get to where you wanted to go in the first place. So now you've been told, you've been warned. And once you meditate, just stick with your meditation object. Don't pay attention to anything. Okay? All right. Hi, Sinyi and Monica Chen from Malaysia.
Good evening, Tan Ajahn.
Good evening. Any question today?
Yeah, Tan Ajahn. Actually, this week I didn't manage to keep the 8 precepts, and I realized that my mind keeps on running around. Very difficult to settle down. Is it that important that the 8 precepts to pull the mind back?
Yes, because the 8 precept acts like a cage, and the mind is like a monkey. If there's no cage, then the monkey can run around all over the place. And that makes it harder for you to catch the monkey, to stop the monkey, to make the monkey become still. But once you put it in the cage, then it's easier to catch it, to stop it from running around, to make it become still. So the 8 precept, that's the purpose of having the 8 precept, is to have a cage, to stop your mind from going all over the place. Because you cannot go do this and that, you cannot go to a birthday party, you cannot go to a movie, anything. And it has to stay in the house or in the monastery. So it's easier to control your mind that way, once it's in the cage. Sila is the cage. The 8 precepts act like a cage to contain your mind. Okay?
Yes, all right. Okay, so
All right.
that means to say, if I really need to want to progress, I have to do more to keep the 8 precepts more and more.
That's right. You want to pull the mind away from the body activities, the activity using the body. You want to pull the mind into the space of the mind. You want to lift off. You want to get out of this world, this physical world, and enter into the spiritual world. When you meditate, you are going into the spiritual world. We just don't call it that way, that's all. But that's what it is. You're leaving the physical world. You stop looking for pleasure from the physical world. You want to find happiness from the spiritual world. Like the astronaut, they find peace in space. They are all alone up there, and they have another type of happiness. They don't have to worry about the family, worry about anything, you know, like that. What you are worrying right now, you're worrying about so many things because you keep receiving all this information through your sensual organs, through your eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body. But once you leave the sensual organs, then there's nothing to cause you to have any worries, because you are in you're dwelling in emptiness, existing in the space of the mind, which is emptiness. So that's why you want to go. Then you have to practice, and in order to successfully practice, you need to have the 8 precepts to support your practice.
Yeah, I think that is the right way. Okay, thank you so much.
Okay.
That's very acceptable.
Okay.
I agree. Okay.
Sunyi, you have any question?
No, Ajahn. I'm a bit lacking in practice, so I have to gear up a bit in my practice first.
Yeah, you have to make appointment with your practice. Like you make appointment with your doctor. Set up a schedule. Oh, today at 8 o'clock I have to meditate, for instance. If you don't set up an appointment, then you won't be doing it. See? Even though you might say I should do it, but it's just trying to find an excuse. So I just keep saying, oh, I should do it, but I never do it. I never did it. But if you have to have an appointment, then you cannot skip the appointment. So set up the schedule for your practice, or else you won't be able to do it. Because when the time comes, you might even forget, or you might find something more important to do. But once you set up the schedule, make an appointment, then you say, oh, I cannot skip this appointment. Because you want to be truthful to yourself, not lying to yourself. Okay, in Pali, setting up this appointment is called Atithan, translated as resolution. Make a resolution. Make an appointment. It's like making a resolution. I have to go to see the doctor today, for instance. I have to go into retreat today. I have to keep the 8 precepts today. See, this is making an appointment with Dhamma. Once you set up the appointment, when the time comes, then you have to keep your resolution, your appointment. If you can keep it, it means you have satya, mean truth. You are truthful to yourself, not lying to yourself. Like the Buddha, when he sat under the Bodhi tree before his enlightenment, he set up the Atithan Satya. He said, I'm going to sit under this tree until I become enlightened. If I'm not enlightened, I will not move away, get up from this position. And he didn't get up until after he became enlightened. So he have satya. He didn't give up his resolution. He stick to his resolution, meaning having truthfulness to his resolution, being faithful to his resolution. Let's put it that way. Satya means faithfulness or truthfulness. In order to do anything successfully, you need to have these two things. You have to have the resolution, and you have to have the faithfulness to follow through, to do what you are set out. Then you need to have exertion or energy, diligence, virya, and you have to have khanti. You have to persevere. You have to endure whatever difficulties you might have to go through. Then whatever you want to do, you will be able to do it and succeed in what you do. All right?
Yes.
Okay.
Sadhu, Ajahn.
Hi, B from Bangkok, Thailand.
Hi, Ajahn. Good evening. How are you today?
Good. And you?
I'm fine, thank you. So I have a question, Ajahn. I've seen from your videos and from your books that you mention a lot about getting rid of sensual desire, you know. So I'm just a bit confused. Normally, the first step is to get rid of the attachment to the body. But how is it that even if we are able to get rid of our attachment to the body, we still have sensual desire that's remaining? As in, which one should come first, or which one's more difficult to eradicate?
Well, you use the body for many purposes. One of the purposes is to satisfy your sensual cravings. You need to have the body, strong body, healthy body, with all the 5 sensual organs working properly. Okay, so you become attached to the health of your body. You want to keep the body strong, healthy, not getting old, getting sick, or die. So this is one form of attachment to your body. You want to have the body in order to be able to use the body to satisfy your craving for sensual pleasure. So you should first stop your craving for sensual pleasures, because if you can stop, then you don't need to depend on your body. Then whatever happens to your body will not then bother you. The body can get old, get sick, or die, will not matter, because you're not using the body anymore. The body is just an instrument, a tool that you use to satisfy your sensual cravings. So what you need to do is to stop your sensual desire, first by entering into samadhi, using mindfulness to get a temporary cessation of your cravings for sensual pleasure. And then the next step, you have to develop vipassana. Once you can do that, then you will no longer need to rely on your body, to have your body. So if the body should get sick or become crippled or it won't bother the mind, because the mind doesn't need the body anymore. So that will automatically let the mind let go of the attachment to the body also. So you should tackle the cravings for sensual pleasure, because that's the reason why we are born. We are born here because we want to have pleasure from the sensual objects, and in order to have it, we have to have the body, right?
Yes.
Is that clear enough to you?
Yes, it is. Actually, what I wanted to also ask is that, Ajahn, you mentioned that a Sotapanna can get rid of his attachment to the body, but he still has sensual desires left. How does that work? I'm not quite clear on that.
Well, because he hasn't yet tackled the sensual desire problem. He tackled the body problem first by understanding the nature of the body, that the body is impermanent, that eventually it has to get old, get sick, and die. And if you cling to your body, attached to your body, then you don't want it to get old, get sick, or die. Then you have vipawa tanha, sensual for not being, craving for not being old, being sick, or being dead. And this is the one that is causing suffering to the mind. And if you don't want to have this suffering, like we don't want to worry about death, about aging, sickness, but we cannot avoid it because we don't know how to deal with it. See? So if you use the method of mindfulness and vipassana, then you will be able to see that you cannot avoid getting old, getting sick, and death. But you can avoid suffering from getting old, getting sick, and death by accepting aging, sickness, and death, by teaching the mind, this is the nature of the body. And in order to be able to let go, you need to have upekkha. You need to have upekkha from your fourth jhana to help your mind to remain still, not being reacting to whatever happens to your body. So this is usually the way we deal with the body. First, we want to get rid of our vibhava tanha, our desire not to get old, get sick, and die. Because this is what keeps us worried, keep us fearful of things that can happen to the body. Once we get rid of that, then we can then come and tackle our sexual desire. And we need a different object of vipassana. Instead of, we need to look at the body in a negative way, and we look at the unattractive parts of the body. Because the attractive parts of the body is what creates our sexual desire. But when we look at the unattractive part, then we have no sexual desire, right? Look, when you look at ugly people, you don't have any sexual desire, do you? It's only when you're looking at beautiful people, right? That's when sexual desire comes up. So you want to change your perception. Even with beautiful people, they are not so beautiful inside as well. You can see if you think of the skeleton that we all have. If we can see the skeleton, or we can see the other undesirable parts of the body, then our sexual desire will disappear. So we have to maintain this perception until permanently in our mind by continually keep contemplating on these 32 parts of the body, on the corpses of the body. When the body dies, it becomes corpses. When you think of this body as being a corpse, you will have no sexual desire.
So the unattractive part of the body, it dies, it gets rotten, it goes back to the
even when it's not dying, it's still alive. You have to look inside, under the skin. And under the skin, there are other parts that we don't see: the skeleton, the heart, the lung, the intestines, the brain, and all the fluids in the body, for instance. So you can study the 32 parts of the body. This can help you dispel the beauty perception of the body.
Oh, so this is asubha, right?
Asubha, you can call it asubha also.
Oh, so this is a challenge. It's not easy. I think that's why you mentioned that. That's why we sometimes need to take 8 precepts, because 5 will not stop us from getting our sensual pleasures. Correct?
That's right. There are two types of sensual pleasure: non-sexual and sexual ones. Like you want to watch a movie or you want to eat your favorite dish. This is also sensual pleasure. Also. Okay.
Yep, that's very clear.
All right.
Yes, thank you, Thanajan. Satu, satu, satu.
Okay. We'll go to Lisa Wu. Hi, Lisa. Where are you from?
Good evening, Ajahn. I'm from Singapore.
Welcome to our room. This is your first time here?
It's my second time.
Second time, okay.
Yes. Ajahn, I got a question tonight. I'd like to know, when we do 8 precepts, can we do our morning jogging, or better to stay away from it?
It's all right as long as you do it for health purpose, not for entertainment, not for enjoyment.
Okay.
You have to exercise, but you just have to know the where you are also. If you're in a temple, it might not be good to do in a temple. But if you're at home, you're not bound by any rules, then you can do any kind of exercise you want.
Okay. So pertaining to, if let's say we are practicing the 8 precepts at home, for the bed, I understand that we are supposed to sleep on our normal bed or sleeping on the floor. Is there any strict rules on that if we are practicing at home for the 8 precepts?
Yes, if the bed you sleep is too comfortable, we don't want you to sleep too much.
So we sleep on the floor.
Yeah, where it's not so comfortable, so you don't sleep too much. That's the purpose. You want to sleep to rest your body, but you don't want to enjoy sleeping. You don't want to get enjoyment from sleeping because it will take away your meditation time.
So when we practice 8 precepts in the daytime, can we take a short break, like have a short, like half an hour sleep or anything like this? Is it advisable?
Yes, you can. You can sleep, take a nap if you feel tired and sleepy and you're not able to meditate. Then you can take a sleep, a nap.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay.
That's all for tonight. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Let me go to Kok Seng. Kok Seng. Hi, Kok Seng. Are you from Singapore or from Malaysia?
Ajahn from Singapore.
Yes, any question today?
Regarding just now you mentioned about the way we see our body as impermanent and so forth. So how do we advise our friends when they are telling us to pray for their friend who is very sick, and then so my question is that how do we tell them how do we tell our friend that the body is impermanent, of the nature to decay, of the nature to get sick and get old and die? How do we put forth to them instead of so that they do not cling so much to pray for my friend is very sick and so on.
It depends on whether your friend want to know this or not. See, I think he knows, but he just doesn't want to know it because his delusion is so strong. He wants his loved one to continue on living without dying. So if you tell him that they're gonna die, he might get mad at you for being insensitive. So this is something that you have to know first of all whether he wants you to remind him of this truth or not. We all know we're all gonna die, but we all don't want to die. So we want comforting of false words, false information. Oh yes, it's gonna last. It's not gonna die. This is comforting words we like to hear. That's why people come to monks and pray or ask for favor from monks. My parent is sick in the hospital. I say they'll be okay. Don't worry about it. They'll come out all right. So this is something that we all know, but we just don't want to face it. That's all.
So even let's say for our Buddhist friends, we also try not to tell them, it's okay, the body will get old, get sick and die. So don't so much to getting the body back healthy again.
It depends on whether they want to hear it from you or not. See? If they don't want, then it's maybe not. It's not the time for you to say it. It's a sensitive matter. You have to decide when to speak and or not to speak. Okay. We have Matt from Matt Bruce, he's been here several times and never had a chance to talk. So let me see. Go to him first. Have you finished coaxing? I'm sorry. Okay. Hi, Matt.
Good afternoon, Ajahn. How are you?
Good. This is your first time to be able to talk to us.
It's I think I've been one or twice, but it really didn't work. It's my cell phone. It's not that good. So now it's working today. So it's happy times.
You're from
I
Denmark.
just wanted
You're from Denmark,
yeah,
right?
yeah, that's right, Ajahn. I'm from Denmark. Yeah. I just wanted to say hello, and it's good to be back with you on Zoom, and thank you for inviting me. And I don't really have any questions. I think I'm progressing all right in my practice. I think it's really effective to meditate. That's really the way, I think.
Yes, that's the way to the real happiness. The happiness without any suffering. Other types of happiness will all end up in suffering sooner or later. So keep on practicing, okay? Keep on studying the Dhamma teaching. Okay, nice talking to you.
I will, dear Ajahn.
All right.
Nice talking to you, Ajahn.
Okay.
Sadhu.
Sadhu. Let me go to Lim Kim Heng. You're next from Malaysia or Singapore?
Yes.
From Malaysia.
Good evening, Ajahn, from Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. How are you, Ajahn?
Fine, thank you.
Yeah. I have one question regarding the fourth jhana. Is it possible for a layman, let's say we observe the 5 precepts and 8 precepts during Uposatha, and we are always mindful? Is it possible to attain up to the 4th jhana for a layman with household responsibility?
There are some laymen who can enter into jhana. So it's not whether you're layman or a monk, it's whether you have the faculties or the ability to enter into jhana or not. So that's, it doesn't matter whether you're a lay person or monks. Lots of monks never enter into jhana. So, but generally speaking, being a monk is more conducive for jhana than being a lay person. But there are exception cases in which a lay person can enter into jhana, maybe because in his past life he might have already had some jhana before. So it's not whether you're a lay person or you're a monk. It's whether you can do it or not. So if you practice, you'll find out for yourself whether you can or not.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you, Ajahn. Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Yanasmi from Lebanon.
Yes.
What's the name of the town you're from?
It's a bit difficult. It's called Kinshasa.
Kinshasa, and the closest to the big city.
It's like half an hour from our capital, Beirut.
From Beirut,
but
north,
it's up the mountains, and
to the north
right now
to the
we
north
start
or
to
to
get
the
some
east?
snow.
To the north or to the east?
It is to the east.
East of Beirut. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we are starting to get snow here. It's very cold.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's
On the mountain.
1,000 meters
I
above
see.
sea level.
Okay, just on the mountain, not in the city.
No, not in the city.
You have anything to say or ask?
Yes, I have quite a few things. I hope you can bear with me today, because recently I started to practice 8 precepts on a daily basis, and it's like speeding up my practice, and there's many things going on. But sometimes actually I take the 8 precepts, but I end up breaking one of them, usually the eating after midday. So is that like a bad karma? Is there a bad karma that comes from breaking one of the 8 precepts?
No, there's no bad karma. It's just bad habit, and also lack of good karma. So when you cannot keep the precepts, then some precepts are not considered bad karma, like killing or stealing. The 5 precepts are considered to be bad karma, but the 6, 7, 8 precepts are considered to be more of a habit thing that you want to stop doing. So it just means you fail in your attempt to change your bad habit.
So is it better to for example, to take the 5 precepts and then how to say, take the 5 precepts, but actually end up practicing the 8th precept? You know
keep
what
the
I mean?
7, yeah, keep the 7 precepts. Yeah. If you cannot keep the 6th precept, then just keep the 7 precepts instead, and try to eventually be able to keep the 6th precept later on if you're still not able to do it now.
Because because now coming out of Corona, my body is still not normal. Like for example, I'm sleeping more than normal, and my senses are not completely back. And so sometimes I find that it's really hard not to eat after midday. But because it was helping my meditation, so I decided I just want to follow 8 precepts up until I go back to the monastery again.
Well, you just
anyway,
have to do whatever you can.
Yeah. Okay, so my next question is when I'm meditating, I'm doing Anapana, and sometimes when my focus is very good, then there's a lot of like goosebumps. You know goosebumps?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like waves and waves of goosebumps on the body. And at that time, I feel that my whole body is breathing, like my skin is starting to breathe. And I start to get colder and colder. And every breath that I'm taking, it's like I'm sweeping the whole body. One breath, I can feel the whole body. Exhale, I can feel the whole body. Like with one breath, I can sweep the whole body with my mind, with my mindfulness. And it's a very kind of, there's a lot of sukha in this experience. So
Yes,
I was wondering.
We call it rapture, we call it piti in Pali.
Yes. Yes, but it never seemed to reach the equanimity level so much. I mean, I'm not sure if the equanimity is there.
Because you lose track of your meditation objects. You forget to focus on your meditation object. So you should just stick to the breath only and not the other thing.
So disregard all those piti sensations.
That's right. Yeah, just concentrate on your breath, watching your breath. This is the only way for your mind to go further inside into equanimity.
Okay, so this level is not like
maybe third
you cannot
jhana,
say it's upachara samadhi or something.
Maybe second jhana. You read in the jhana, they will tell you what first jhana has, second jhana has, third jhana.
Okay. So it can consider this is jhana. What?
Yeah, jhana, but not the fourth jhana.
Not the fourth jhana. And also, I'm notice I cannot sit more than 45 minutes. Is that too little?
That's the strength of your mindfulness and the strength of your exertion. If you want to extend, you have to exert further. You have to force yourself to watch your breath. If you cannot watch your breath, maybe you have to use a mantra instead. Switch it to using a mantra. Recite the mantra. Bhutto, bhutto, bhutto. Or do some chanting to generate more mindfulness, so you can continue on sitting.
Okay. So even if there's like excruciating pain in the leg.
Yes, whatever. If you can disregard them and just concentrate on your mantra, on your chanting, you might be able to continue on sitting.
Okay, and is there like a telltale sign when we really are reaching the fourth jhana? I mean, how do you experience equanimity?
You don't.
Is it with regards to the pain?
It comes unexpectedly, the fourth jhana. It's like falling from a high place, or switching from a hot room into a cold room, for instance. It just happens suddenly. So don't expect anything. The more you anticipate, the less you will be able to get it. Just keep focusing on your breath, on your mantra.
Okay.
Okay, that's good enough. Huh? So you still think of getting ordained sometime in the future?
I cannot wait for some country. I don't know if Thailand or Myanmar, and even recently I've been thinking about the monasteries in the UK, with the Thai forest tradition monasteries in the UK. I think because the weather there is more suitable for me. I don't do well in hot climates.
Yes.
So, but now with the corona, it's so difficult. Everywhere is closed, and we don't know just when it's going to happen. And
Yeah, you have to be patient right now. Just stay put and practice where you are. You can practice where you are. Don't let your defilement, your delusion keep misleading you to say, "Oh, I can only practice there, not here." Once you get there, it's the same problem again. I cannot practice here again. I have to go somewhere else again.
yeah, I know, and that's why I said I'm just gonna follow 8 precepts, and I even stopped all those watching movie, everything. Just whole day, I'm either reading Dhamma or listening to some discourses or practicing. Nothing
That's
else.
right. That's right. That's what you have to do if you want to advance in your practice. Get rid of your hindrances, sensual desire, one of the 5 hindrances.
Yeah, I'm practicing the 32 body parts, and I'm finding a lot of benefit from it.
Okay, good. Keep practicing, all right?
Yes, thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Next, Jason Ong or Huang, I'm not sure.
Jason Ong,
okay.
Ajahn, good evening.
You're from Singapore?
No, from Penang, Malaysia.
Okay.
I got one question, Ajahn. I have problem in keeping the body straight up. Every time I straighten up, and then after relaxing, it tends to be sort of like slouched down again. I'm not sure whether every time I try to straighten up, there's like the movement in the body. Ajahn say that we just ignore it. How important it is to keep our body upright all the time during meditation?
Not as important as paying attention to your meditation object. Okay. So don't worry about your body. When you first start, try to sit straight. Try to sit properly. But once you start doing meditation, your body might go back to the old habit. You cannot force it. You cannot prevent it. But don't worry about it. You just keep on focusing on your meditation object once you start meditating.
But I find that if I straighten up my body, I find more comfortable than just slouching it down. So I tend to straighten it up every now and then.
Yes, then you come back to your starting over again. See, like coming back to the starting point every time you come back to the body.
So the trick is to ignore it and then just keep on concentration on my breathing method. Thank you, Ajahn. Thank you. Sadhu, sadhu.
Okay. Next, Vajira Kur. Vajira. Where are you from, Vajira?
I'm living in Singapore.
Singapore.
Yes.
You have any question?
Yes, there's one. When we're sitting in samadhi, right? The past unwholesome act appear. So, what would be the best way to handle that? Is it to reflect or to ignore?
Ignore, just focus on your meditation object. Ignore everything, whatever comes up, good or bad thoughts, feelings, anything that comes up. Don't pay attention to them. Just ignore them and concentrate on your meditation object. This is the purpose of meditation, to concentrate your mind to one, not to be distracted by any other thing.
Even it was those past unwholesome act committed.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. The past is already gone.
Yes.
And the future is not here yet. Just stay in the present.
Thank you, Tanajan.
Okay. Anura G from Switzerland. I'm from New Zealand. New Zealand, right?
Yes, Ajahn. I'm from Christchurch, New Zealand. How are you? Good evening. Yeah.
Thank you. Fine, thank you.
Yeah.
And you?
Yeah, my practice is going well. So I try to join the Zoom, even though time is early morning. So yeah, just one question, Ajahn. So how do we apply Samma Sankappa into our daily practice?
Samma Sankappa means right thought, thinking in the right way. It's a thing in the way of wisdom, see? Thinking in the way of anicca, dukkha, anatta. Everything you see something, say, oh, this is anicca, this is anatta. This will cause you dukkha one day. Instead of thinking as being nityang, sukhang, atta, we tend to look at things as nityang, permanent. Sukhang will give us happiness. Atta belonging to us. But in fact, they are the opposite. They are nityang, they are temporary, not permanent. They will cause dukkha sooner or later. They are anatta, they don't belong to you. You cannot keep them forever with you. So whenever you look at things, look at them as anicca, dukkha, anatta. This is right thinking of the highest level. But on the lower level, you can think of making charity, giving. If you want to have some happiness, instead of buying something for you, instead buying something for somebody else. You'll be more happy than getting something for yourself if you don't really need it. Thinking of charity, thinking of keeping the precept, thinking of meditating, thinking of training the mind with mindfulness. This is all right thinking. Don't think about making money, being richer. Don't thinking about going on a holiday, on a cruise, on a Caribbean cruise or anything like this. This is not right thinking.
Yeah, I understand.
Understand?
Yeah, thank you, Ajahn. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay.
So, yeah, thank you.
ST, you're next. Where are you from?
Hi, evening, Ajahn. I'm from Singapore.
I'm sorry if I keep forgetting where you come from because it's either Singapore or Malaysia. I'm always get a little bit confused.
It's okay. Actually, just an observation because I attended a talk today on psychology counseling. And then interestingly, the speaker doesn't belong to a Buddhist group, but he recommended meditation as a form of removing this mental illness, and especially meditation and chanting. So I thought that it is actually a good way of transmitting Buddhism without actually saying the word Buddhism, because he's just a psychologist in a Singapore context and talking about helping people recovering from COVID isolation. And the kind of meditation and the kind of chanting he mentioned is exactly what you taught us. So I thought it is actually really a good way of expressing this idea of meditation to a bigger public. I just don't know what you think about it. So it's about translating the message of Buddhism without saying the word.
Yes, because the word religion can be undesirable for some people. They think of religion as being dogmatic and ignorant, really, So when you talk about psychology, then they can accept it, because Buddhism is actually a universal psychology. Really, it deals with the mind. It's not a religion. It's a psychologist. It's a psychologist. It's a teaching of a psychologist. The Buddha is a psychologist. He discovered the way how to heal the mind. But then it somehow turned into become a religion, because people like to rely on somebody, something. But Buddhism doesn't teach us to rely on the Buddha. We have to rely on ourselves in order to solve our own problem. But rely on his teaching how to solve our problem. But we have to solve the problem ourselves, not just simply because we take him as our teacher, as our refuge, and then all our problem will be taken care of. That's not the case. So actually, Buddhism is not really a religion. It's a system of teaching, the Buddha Sasana, the system of teaching of the Buddha. But somehow people turn it into a religion. Okay?
Thank you.
Because nowadays people are more secular than religious, right? But now there are lots of secular people turning into Buddhism for refuge, because they cannot find anything to solve their mental problem in the secular world. So they turn to mindfulness. They try to avoid using Buddhism. They say mindfulness meditation or insight meditation. So what? It doesn't matter. These are labels.
Right.
But if you really know it, they all come from the Buddha.
Right. Correct.
Okay. This is something for monks or for those who want to teach Buddhism to be able to know to use the proper language in order to transmit the teaching of the Buddha to the proper group of people, to the right group of people.
Yeah, I think it's a very useful tool, because in the talk there is a Christian, there's Muslim, there's Hindu. But then when they speak this very ordinary language without using the word Buddhism, actually the message get across. And I can see that many people are actually nodding our head, agreeing with what the speaker is saying.
I have people from other religion coming to see me and talk to me. I have Catholic, I have Christian, I have Muslim coming to talk to me, because they can relate to what I tell them. See? Because I don't tell them anything about religion. I tell them about the mind and how to heal the mind. Okay, is that all?
Yes, thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Greg Yenso, you're next from Penang. Hi, how are you?
Hi, Ajahn. Good evening. I'm good, thank you. I do not have any question today. I'm listening, Ajahn.
Okay.
Yeah, good to meet you.
All right. Okay. How about you, Phoebe Sang from Toronto, Canada?
Hello, Ajahn. I don't have any questions today. I just want to pay my respect. Thank you for the teaching.
Okay. Thank you for your donation. I heard you gave some money to the school, huh?
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I haven't done it yet.
You haven't done it yet. Okay.
It's actually in transit from one bank account to another at the moment.
Okay. Anyway,
Yeah.
thanks anyway. Okay.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Next, Kylian Dong. Hi, from London.
Hello, Ajahn. Today I have a question. It's like when you do 30
body contemplation, 32 parts
body
of the body.
contemplation, do you visualize the body in front of you like any body, or do you scan it from your top to your toe? For me, scanning from my top to my toe, it takes so long, like it's so slow. It's so slow to move from one part to the other, but it's easier to scan anyone in the front.
Well, anyway, it's possible as long as you see it clearly, see the body, see the body the other parts of the body, not just what you see from the outside only. You want to see what is under the skin also.
Yeah. I cannot see things clearly now, but just try to imagine and visualize it. But it's not like a blue liver to me or something like that.
You can use the books with photographs or graphics, diagrams of the body organs, so that it will help you to visualize it in your mind.
Yeah.
So that the goal is when you look at people, you see all these other parts that you normally don't see. That's all. It's like training your mind with an X-ray machine. So that when you see somebody, you can see the skeleton right away. You can see the lungs and the heart and intestines right away. That's the purpose of contemplating the 32 parts of the body.
So to get your habit of looking at it under the skin first, like faster, quicker.
It doesn't matter if slow or quick, as long as you can see it. That's the goal.
Yeah.
When you first starting, you might be a little bit slow because your mind still hasn't yet acquired the images inside the mind. It's like learning the multiplication table. It takes time for you to. The more you do it, then the more proficient, the quicker you can do it.
Thank you very much.
What you want to do is you want it to become automatic. Every time you see somebody, you scan their body instead of looking at their jewelries or their watches or the clothing. You scan inside the body instead. Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right. How are you, Alfredo from Brazil?
Hi, Bante. I'm good, thanks.
Good,
my meditation is very, 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 very good. My Satipana Upeka is very okay. I very tranquility is very good. The things of the world are not wrong or right. It's very okay by my meditation. I like to hear your teachings. Your teachings is combined with my opinion of Dhamma. Is very okay to practice Dhamma with you and other people to group. Thanks.
Yes, okay. Nice talking to you. Okay, let me go to Lillian. Hi, Lillian, where are you from?
I'm Malaysian, but I'm staying in Thailand.
In Thailand.
Yep, and this is my husband.
In Bangkok?
Yes, in Bangkok, yes.
Okay. And your husband is also Malaysian or Thai?
Oh, my husband is Thai.
Thai.
Yes.
Okay. You have any question?
Yeah, I have a question. Since COVID started, I've developed a good habit, which is meditation. I started to meditate again. I'm not a very patient person and I lose my temper easily. Sometimes when I meditate, I think I've been meditating since March and I can feel that my meditation has improved, the breathing has improved, but I can actually lose my temper right after I meditate.
That's because you let go of your mindfulness. You should continue on with your mindfulness. Not just being mindful only when you meditate.
Yes.
When you come out of meditation, you have to continue on controlling your thoughts. You have to have a mantra, Bhutto, Bhutto, or keep watching your thought. Don't let it go a while. As soon as it starts to become angry, you should use mindfulness to stop it.
Okay. It's very hard sometimes when the emotions get into you. Yep.
Yeah. But if you keep controlling your thought, then there'll be no emotion arising.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Normally, when you stop meditating, it's like letting the cow out of the cage.
Yes.
And just go run wild. The mind is like that. When you meditate, you force it to stay inside the cage. But as soon as you stop meditating, you open up the gate and let it go out of the cage. So the mind goes wild, get angry, get greedy, and so forth.
Yes.
So you have to continue on restraining the mind with mindfulness. Either keep watching what you're doing with your body, or reciting a mantra.
Okay.
Then you'll find that you will be able to control your anger more better.
Okay.
But if you want to use wisdom, you can use it also to help you get rid of your anger. Your anger now usually arises from your expectation, your desire for things to go the way you want it. So when it doesn't go according to what you want, you get angry. So you should change your attitude. Instead of expecting things to go the way you want it, just expect things to go the other way. Anything can happen.
True. Okay.
Then you will not get angry because you know, this is what's gonna happen.
Okay. That's very true about the expectations part.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
Yes, I have one question, Ajahn.
Yes.
With meditation, right? Normally I used Kambrikam Putto.
Yes.
But then instead of Putto, sometimes I used count my breath because I just focus on my breath. Like
yes, you can do that also.
I can do that. But counting my breath, is it like make me to just focus on my breath and how to say attach to number, attach to my breath and don't let go? Is it wrong?
No, it's right. Just keep watching your breath and don't pay attention to any other thing.
But I keep counting, somehow I just keep counting how many breaths I have breathed in. Should I stop counting or just focus on the breath itself?
You can do either way you like.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. The purpose is to stop thinking, to calm your mind, to make your mind become still.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. All right. Next, Tan Ren Ratha. Piku Ren Ratha.
My second Ajahn.
From Cambodia or from Sri Lanka?
I come from Cambodia.
From Cambodia, okay.
Cambodia. So I have several questions. The first question relevant to relevant to in Malay language or เป็นภาษาไทย
What is it?
There are two ประเดปทา mean pleasant progress with quick comprehension and pleasant progress with slow comprehension สุขาประเดปทาคือภาพิญญาสุขาประเดปทาตุนทาพิญญา so the number three pleasant progress painful progress with quick comprehension and painful progress with slow comprehension. So yes. what are different?
The Buddha identified practitioners into 4 categories. People who can practice easily and become enlightened quickly. This is the first one. This is the cream of the crop. Yeah.
Okay.
Practice easy and become enlightened very quickly. Yes. This meaning that when he practices samadhi, he has no hindrances. He can enter into jhana very easily. And then when he contemplate on the anicca dukkha anatta, he could understand it very quickly. So this is the first. The second is he can enter into samadhi easy, but he has to take time to contemplate on anicca dukkha anatta before he can understand it. So this is the second type. The third type is people who find it difficult to enter into samadhi, like all of us. These are the third type. Practice very hard, find very hard to meditate. Yeah. before they can enter into samadhi or jhana. And then when they contemplate on wisdom, they can understand very quickly. This is the third type. Practice hard but can still become enlightened very quickly. That's the third type. And the fourth, the last type, is those who find it difficult to practice samadhi and take a long time to understand the truth of anicca, dukkha, anatta. This is the fourth type of practitioner. There are 4 types of practitioners. I think most of us belong to the third or the fourth types.
Yes, yes. I want to make sure relevant to what cause of make Buddhist followers get enlightened easily or not easily. It means with a slow comprehension. So what is the cause?
That's because of the ability to understand things. They are like students in the classroom. There are students who can get grade 4.0, and there are some students who only get 1.0 because they don't have the ability to comprehend. The ability to comprehend differ from one person to the next. This is something due to their past karma. There's nothing you can do about it as a teacher.
Yes. So what Thanachan explained at the moment is mean that some Buddhist followers has enough wisdom to be enlightened, right? To be enlightened. Some others have weak comprehension. It refers to wisdom, right?
Yeah, it takes time for them to be able to understand.
Okay. So how about some Buddhist follower? They try hard to meditate, try hard to study, but they are hard to see fundamental truths, the fundamental truths. So what the cause of being hard? But why do they hard to? Why are they hard to see fundamental truth?
Maybe because they're not practicing correctly. They don't go step by step according to the way the Buddha teaches them. They have to go through the samadhi first before they can go to vipassana. If they go over samadhi and go vipassana, they might not be able to see the noble truth, the anicca, dukkha, anatta clearly, as they would if they have samadhi. So they first have to have samadhi first before they can go to vipassana. Okay.
So what if I think that they are hard, they are difficult to see fundamental truth. So if I say that it is because of development that make them hard to see fundamental truth, it's okay or not? Because they have fine tendencies or a lot of development, that's why they are hard to
yes,
see
part of it.
truth.
The delusion is preventing them from seeing the truth. The delusion keeps telling them to see the opposite of the truth.
So the first comprehension is wisdom. So wisdom opposite of delusion, right?
That's right.
It is a quick comprehension, but it is a pleasant, right? Pleasant progress. I mean, practice easily, but yes, practice easily and see fundamental truth easily, like Venerable Sariputta, right? Yeah, so he practiced easily and then he got enlightened easily. Yeah, yes. So how about Venerable Moggallana, right? It's a little bit hard. It's the same Venerable Sariputta or not, right? If we think about the left hand of the Buddha, the Moggallana.
Oh, this because they have different special powers. They're both arahant. They have pure mind, but they have special abilities different. So Sariputta have the wisdom, the ability to teach people like the Buddha. Next to the Buddha, no one is wiser than Sariputta in teaching the Dhamma. Why Moggallana is considered, he has special capability in the psychic power.
Psychic power.
He has more psychic power than any other noble disciples. So the Buddha put him in the left hand, his left hand man. But he considered Sariputta to be more superior than Moggallana, because Sariputta has the ability to teach the Dhamma.
Yes, so I see. So in short, what I asked Ajahn at the moment, I understand that. So because of five faculties like faith, or mindfulness, meditation, or wisdom can let Buddhist follower understand the Four Noble Truths easily, right? But because of delusion, right? Or the five hindrances make Buddhist follower hard to see Four Noble Truths.
That's right. The five hindrances are from the defilement. They are defilement.
Yes, yes. So when we have a lot of greed or anger or delusion, they are hard for us to practice the Buddha teaching, right? It is hard.
That's right. If they still want to make money, then they'll find why should they practice Dhamma at all? They don't see the purpose.
So another question at the moment, Ajahn answer relevant to insight meditation or tranquil samatha. How do you say? Tranquil meditation. Samatha meditation.
Yeah.
So, and according to my perspective, during the Buddha time, so the laymen, women just only listen to the Buddha teaching, they become noble one, become Sotapanna, Sakatiyami, Sakatakhami, Anakhami, they are earn Arhat seat. So they just only pay attention to the Buddha teaching. So they know the Buddha teaching. They didn't go to the forest and just only Buddhist monk who need a quiet place, and then they went to the forest and then went to forest for doing meditation. So why many people, including gods, like gods, just only pay attention to the Buddha teaching, they become noble ones. As to people, especially Buddhist monks, did meditation first and then see the Four Noble Truths. So
because they have samadhi.
What are different?
They have samadhi. They have concentration. They can concentrate on the listening to the Buddha's teaching and contemplate what the Buddha taught to them, comprehend what the Buddha
What kind
taught
of
them.
meditation?
Samadhi, they have equanimity, they have jhana.
So during listening to the Buddha teaching, what kind of meditation did Ajahn refer to?
This is not a meditation, but concentration, equanimity, calm, neutral. The mind is calm without any defilement.
So for Buddhist monks who went to the forest and then they did meditation until they attain jhana, mental absorption. So it is what kind of meditation?
This is samatha meditation.
It is okay. Samatha meditation different from meditation during listen to the Dhamma teaching.
Yeah, vipassana, when you listen to Dhamma talk, you're doing vipassana meditation. Okay, I think I have to end your question right now and give other people a chance to ask, okay? Okay, I think everybody has a chance to ask the question. Now is the question we have from Facebook, people who send in the question to the messages. So Kunla, do you have any question?
Yes,ท่านอาจารย์ there are
Oh,
questions
by the
from
way, first hang on, there's another person that we haven't yet talked to, Tito. Hi, Tito. I'm sorry. Tito, can you unmute your microphone, please? Where are you from?
Yeah,
Okay.
hello, Ajahn. Now you listen to me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you clearly.
Do you listen to me?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. I'm from Mexico, Ajahn.
Mexico. Okay. Where in Mexico?
Yeah. I'm from Mexico City. Right now, I'm in India.
India. I see. Okay.
Yeah, I'm here in Dharamsala.
Dhammasala, where the Dalai Lama is. Just. Yeah, I think you freeze.
Yeah. Right
okay.
now, but you can see the Himalayas here. It's
I
very
see.
beautiful.
Okay.
Anyway.
Any question? I think your signal is
Yeah. Ajahn, do you listen to me?
Yes, can hear you, but not quite good, but can still listen.
Okay, perfect. Well, Ajahn, I have been practicing a little bit of Vipassana meditation, and I was going to go to Thailand, but the COVID started, so I got stuck here. So I have been practicing a little bit more now with the Tibetans, with the Tibetan people. And I would like to ask you one question about that is maybe not from Theravada Buddhism, but it confused me a little bit about this idea of bodhisattva, of bodhicitta, because they say that it's something that is essential to cultivate. Although they say like, okay, mindfulness is not enough in order to become enlightened, in order to attain even Buddhahood, no? And that mindfulness is not enough. So I would like to, I have a debate with a Rinpoche about this, but I would like to ask you about your point of view of this. If mindfulness is more than enough, or you also need to have a cultivation of compassion.
No,
because I think that also compassion arrives from mindfulness.
Yes, compassion, the four Brahma Viharas arise from mindfulness. Once you can get the mind to jhana, then you will have equanimity, loving kindness, and compassion and sympathetic joy come together. And it's not mindfulness alone that can make you become enlightened. You also need to have samadhi, which is the fourth jhana, and also you have to have wisdom to see the truth of the anicca, dukkha, anatta, and the Four Noble Truths. Then you can become enlightened. You need all three of them. You need mindfulness, samadhi, and wisdom. With the support of sila, with the support of diligent exertion, and faith in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. Can you hear me, Tito? I think something is wrong with your connection.
We lost him.
Okay. We'll go to Kunla for the question from Facebook.
There are questions from 7 people from Facebook, ท่านอาจารย์ The first question from Chi Ching Chuan. Dear Ajahn, is masturbation against precept and is a wrongdoing or biological need? What is your opinion on this matter? Thank you.
It's not, it's not against the 8 precepts, but it's against the monk's precept. The monks cannot do masturbation. That's why the monk has to contemplate on the 32 parts of the body in order to be able to curb their sexual desire. So if you want to advance in the spiritual path, you have to give up your sensual pleasure part. They are not going in the same direction. They are pulling your mind back if you still rely on sensual pleasure such as masturbation. So you have, this is another form of sensual pleasure. See? Second question.
Next question from Hai Ing Il. May I have your opinion regarding the Bardo state as preached by Tibetan Rinpoche and High Lamas?
I don't know anything about it, so I'm sorry. I cannot give you any opinion.
And next question from Len Lata. I'm from Cambodia. My respect toท่านอาจารย์ Why cannot people cook by themselves?
Because the Buddha doesn't want the monks to spend too much time cooking. See? So then instead of meditating, they end up spending time thinking about what they're gonna eat the next time. So they lose a lot of time that way. And the Buddha wants the monks to have connection with the lay people by going on collecting alms around. They can become connected to the lay people and have connection.
And second question from Len. Again, why cannot people swim in the streams?
If you take a shower to clean your body, you can, but if you swim for enjoyment, you cannot. It's not for enjoyment. You just want to wash your body.
Next question from Po Leong Soon. Do it a need to practice 4 type posture of meditation to achieving balanced meditation?
Well, you normally have to have this 4 posture in your daily life anyway. Sometimes you walk, sometimes you stand, sometimes you sit, sometimes you're lying down. So in whatever posture you can meditate, you can train your mind with mindfulness. So this is practice already. Is that all?
And next question from Delene Always has 2 questions. Satu Satu Pante. And the first question is, could you please explain your view on energy and power in the context of ultimate truth? Is it a formation of 6 elements, or each individual element is a form of energy?
I don't know. I cannot really explain it to you, but there are 2 types of energy, physical energy and mental energy. Physical energy usually comes from the fire element. And while mental energy comes from mindfulness. If you have mindfulness, you have mental energy. Is that all?
And the second question from Delene. Although everything is made of 4 elements, there's a difference between the things that provide energy to life, such as food, and things that don't. Could you please explain what exactly causes this distinction?
This is the work of nature. What can I explain? This is the way that nature works. This is how nature works.
And next question from Xiao Chang. Hi Ajahn, I am experiencing a situation where few days ago can concentrate very well on my meditation objects, but few days later, it's so difficult to concentrate, so much different just within days. Is it normal situation, or is it lack of mindfulness make the mind so difficult to concentrate?
Yes, it's the lack of mindfulness. Because your mindfulness is not steady yet, not stable yet. It still goes up and down. So someday you'll find it easy to concentrate, and some other day you'll find it hard to concentrate. But if you keep training your mind in mindfulness, you'll find that it will become more steadier as you advance. So just be patient and just keep training your mind with mindfulness. That's all the question.
And two more questions,ท่านอาจารย์. Next question from Tek Hongko. Ajahn, in the sutta, the first jhana is explained to be accompanied by applied and sustained thoughts with rapture and pleasure bonds of seclusion. What does it mean?
It means just what it says. What can I say? When you meditate, when you watch your breath, you're applying your thoughts to watching the breath. This is applied thought and whatever that is. And when you continue on doing this, you will get piti, you get raptures, like you get goosebumps, or you get a sense of solitude, being alone. So this is what you get when you meditate. So to really experience it, you have to meditate. Talking about it it's not close to what really is. So it's hard for me to describe it. So the only way for me to answer is meditate, do it, and then you experience it. Like eating a dish. Like how do you explain a dish to another person, how it tastes like? You just have to eat it yourself. Okay.
And last question from Gastian. Namo Buddhaya Ajahn. I'm Gastian from Indonesia. The question is, Ajahn, please explain about the fourth noble truths as Abhitam. Many thanks, Ajahn.
The fourth noble truth is just the four truths that we have in our mind. See, the dukkha, the first truth is called dukkha, which means suffering of the mind. The mind, when the mind is not happy, this is dukkha. And the cause of this unhappiness is craving. This is the second truth. The cause of suffering are the three cravings: craving for sensual pleasure, craving for being, and craving for not being. And the third truth is the cessation of dukkha, or suffering. It happens when you develop the fourth truth, which is the magga, the path to the cessation of suffering. That is the practice of sila, samadhi, and panya. If you have sila, samadhi, and panya, then you can get rid of your cravings, which keep creating the dukkha in your mind. So when you get rid of your cravings, then the dukkha will disappear. The cessation of the dukkha will happen. So these are the four noble truths that is happening inside our mind. But usually we only have the first two truths, the truth of dukkha and the truth of craving, cause of dukkha. We don't have the second and the third and fourth truth in our mind yet, the cessation of dukkha and the path leading to the cessation of dukkha. That's what we have to do. We have to practice to develop the magga, the path to the cessation of suffering. Once we have the magga, then we will have the cessation of suffering. Okay?
That's all, ท่านอาจารย์.
Anybody has any question, please raise your hand and unmute your microphone if
Yes,
you want.
ท่านอาจารย์, we have four new coming in the second page. ท่าน Kevin.
Okay, Kevin,
Okay.
you're next.
ท่าน Kevin.
I don't see where you are.
Yeah, he is in the second page.
ท่านอาจารย์, I'm from Germany. And I have one question. I suffer from intense pain. What do you think I can do for help?
Can you repeat the question again, please?
The question is, I suffer from intense pain. I have migraine, and I cannot go all time on arms round and such things. You have an idea what I can do?
You have physical pain, right?
Yes.
So you might have to go see a doctor. Maybe he can help you with the physical pain.
Yes, I go to doctor, but they say he cannot do.
Then you just have to live with it, that's all. Just like you live with the weather. When it snows, you cannot stop it from snowing, then you just have to live with it. If you can accept the snow, then you will not suffer. So if you can accept the pain in your body, then your mind will not suffer.
Okay.
But if you cannot accept, then your mind will suffer. The way to make your mind accept the pain of the body is to meditate, to bring it to equanimity. Once the mind has equanimity, then it will not react to the pain of the body. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right. Who else?
And
Carl?
Soling.
Oh, Soling
Okay,
first.
Soling, yes.
Hello, Ajahn. Hello. I actually got something to ask. I was thinking, now, you said that a lot of things we do in our life, is because of our habits from previous lives. So we accumulate a lot of habits, and then that's what we do sometimes. So, for example, if somebody always practice meditation, generosity, etc., etc., then for some reason he passed away without achieving anything in this lifetimes. So will he come back again eventually? Will he be able to pick up the habits and continue the meditation and practice?
Yes, you continue on with your habit. You take your habit with you, see. Your like and dislike.
So if he have did a lot of meditation, but he didn't achieve to any levels, he would still be able to start again, or he have to start from the scratch.
No, he continue on with where he left.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Next, Carl. Carl Sumac. Where are you from, Carl? Please unmute your microphone. Okay. Cannot hear you. Somehow the sound doesn't coming through.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, okay now. Good.
I'm from Brazil. I just
Brazil.
started.
Okay.
I would like to ask him, in your book that you wrote, My Way, you said that you have to choose in a lay life or in a Dhamma way of being a monk.
Yes.
And I don't know if I understood wrong, but you say that it's not possible to live a lay life with sincerity in Dhamma, and or you choose one way or other way, or a lay life or practice in Dhamma way. So I would like to know if it's possible to live a lay life with a good development of mind, and being able to develop samadhi, or this is just to monk life. I live in a Sudavari, in a monastery in Brazil here. I'm here for 1 year and a half, and I have this question to you, sure. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, the goal of practice is to practice full time. If you want to succeed in your practice, you need to practice full time. So if you can live as a lay person and practice full time, then you can do that also. That means you don't go to work. That means you must have some money to support you. So you don't have to go to work. So you can concentrate all your effort in your practice from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep. But if you cannot do this as a lay person, then you have another alternative, is becoming a monk. See, when you become a monk, you don't have to go to work. Your work is to meditate, to develop mindfulness, to train yourself in vipassana and samatha bhavana. So that's what I meant when under my situation, I wanted to practice full time, but I ran out of money. And if I stay as a layman, I would not be able to support myself to practice. So I had to become a monk, because once I become a monk, I will be supported by other people. then I can then concentrate all my time and effort on my practice. Okay.
Thank you too much.
All right. We have William not turning on the video. I'm not sure whether he wants to speak or not. William, can you hear me? If you want to speak, you have to unmute your microphone. Maybe not. It's just a black box. Okay, anybody else would like to ask a question? You're allowed one more question. I guess nobody. Huh?
Nobody.
Okay.
Nobody.
Well, it's probably about time. It's about 2 hours.
Nayasami.
Yannasami, okay.
Yes, Bhante, I always have this kind of doubt because the Buddha said that the real Dhamma will disappear after 500 years. So what did he really mean by that?
He means that there will be no enlightened person to teach the Dhamma anymore. See? The real Dhamma comes from the enlightened noble disciple. Without the noble disciple, then the Dhamma will be the Dhamma that is being interpreted by an unenlightened person. So it will not be real Dhamma.
So that means there was no arahants after 500 years?
No noble disciple from a Sotapanna up to an arahant.
Wow.
Sotapanna can teach the real Dhamma, but not fully, that's all. But he can still teach the real Dhamma. He can still teach the Four Noble Truths. Okay.
I mean, how about Ajahn Mun? I believe he was an arahant.
Yeah, he passed away already, so he cannot come back.
I know, but I mean, the Buddha say give this prophecy. It's kind of like prophecy, you know. When he was still alive, he said after 500 years, my Dhamma will disappear. So that means now the kind of Dhamma we have maybe somehow interpreted as a bit accurate somehow in some way.
Well, the Dhamma, the real Dhamma is still there, but very few, very hard to find, very hard to come by. See, you have to go study with an enlightened person to get the real Dhamma. Or if you can interpret correctly from the Tipitaka, you can still get there, which is difficult because your mind is not enlightened. When you read the sutta, you tend to be tainted with your delusion, and your interpretation of the sutta is normally not correct.
Yeah, I noticed recently I've been reading a lot of sutta, and many suttas just don't make any sense. I mean, I cannot understand most of what the Buddha is trying to say. So it's very difficult to really practice directly from the Tipitaka.
You can only use it as a rough guide to your practice, but not fully, not a full guide. You need an enlightened person to guide you, because he can tell you more deeply and about the truth of the Dhamma, which you might not be able to find in the sutta. Okay, we have another person who hasn't yet have a chance to talk. Tan Kevin, hello, where are you from, Tan Kevin? Can you hear me? If you want to talk, please unmute your microphone.
No, Ajahn.
No, I'm talking to Tan Kevin. Can you hang on first? Okay, Tan Kevin, please go ahead.
I'm from Germany, Bhante.
From Germany, yes.
Yes.
Okay. Can I help you?
No, you answered my question already.
Okay. How long have you been a monk now?
For 3 years now.
2 years now.
Yes.
Did you ordain in Germany?
No, in Sri Lanka.
In Sri Lanka. Okay.
Okay.
So nothing from you today. Okay. All right. Let me go to William. William, you're back. How are you? Where are you from?
England, Bhante.
From England, yes. You have any question?
My questions are all on Sila, Bhante. I wrote to you about a problem with Sila.
Sila, okay. And it's been answered already?
I think you said keep Sila, but I said that sometimes you get a very serious separation from like where Sila's been a serious break in the Sila. I wonder how you can recover from it.
Oh, you just have to forget it. The past, you cannot go back and erase it. You can do it. You can just do it better in the present. Try to not break it again. That's all. And accept the consequence of your past karma. Whatever is going to happen to you due to your past karma, you cannot avoid it.
So if you have serious karma, then you have to stop the serious karma.
Yes, it's already gone. You cannot go back into the past and change it. But you can change the future by doing the present. What you do now will show up in the future.
Yes,
what you do today will show up in the future tomorrow.
Yeah. I got seriously harmed by Bhante.
Don't worry about it. You know, it's not all that bad. Whatever you did in your past, what's more important? What you do now is more important. So focus on what you do now. You can become an arahant before your past karma can catch up with you. Like Onkolimala, he killed 999 people, but he became enlightened in this lifetime. So he didn't have to go pay the consequence of his bad karma.
Thank you, Bhante.
Okay? Just focus on the practice of Sila, Samadhi, and Panya in this lifetime.
I lost my Samadhi, Bhante. That was the problem.
You can always develop it again. Just start reciting Bhutto, Bhutto, be mindful. You need mindfulness to get into Samadhi.
Yes, Bhante.
Okay?
Are we allowed to come and visit you in Thailand or not?
Oh yes, everybody is welcome. If you can enter the country, which is under lockdown right now. But after the country is open, everybody is welcome to visit me. Okay. Yeah, hope to see you one day if it's possible, all of you. All right? Okay. Anybody else? Any question?
We have two people raise their hand.
Jie Ying, Alvin,
Yeah,
Alvin Lee.
Yeah, it's just to the Nanyasami's question. I think I've listened before to the talk. I don't think Buddha said it's 500 years. Buddha said it's 5,000 years.
Yes, 5,000 years.
Yeah,
And we're halfway there right now. More than a little bit, half more than 2564 now.
Yeah, so it's 5,000 years, right? So we will still be able to find Arahant.
Pardon me?
So we are still able to find many Arahants because
Yeah, there are quite a few in Thailand still. You can go look around. Okay.
Just to clarify on that.
All right. When Ratha, you have any question? You raised your hand before. You have to be quick though. One question.
Ajahn, again, I like to ask you. I want Ajahn want you to explain about peaceful mind in Nirvana, the end of suffering. The end of suffering. What are different? Peaceful
What is
mind.
Nibbana? What is end of suffering?
Yeah.
Nibbana is a mind that is purified without defilement, without the three cravings. No craving for sensual pleasure, no craving for being, no craving for not being. Once you have this, then your mind becomes pure and it becomes Nibbana. It's called Nibbana. It's not a place, it's just a state of mind.
So peaceful mind is not Nirvana, right?
Pardon me?
Peaceful mind. Peaceful mind is not nirvana, right?
Piku.
Peaceful mind. Peaceful mind is mind peaceful. Right?
Peaceful.
Peaceful mind. Peaceful mind can be samadhi and it can be nibbana also. It depends on. If it's samadhi, it's a temporarily peaceful mind. If it's nibbana, it's permanent peaceful mind.
So the Buddha said that consciousness is changeable, suffering, and non-self. What are these? It is. It's not nirvana, right?
No, these are the things. These are things that the mind attached to. Yeah.
So in another Lakkhana Sot, is the Buddha say five khanda are changeable, suffering, and non-self.
Yeah. So you should not attach to them. If you don't want, if you don't want suffering, then you must not attach to the five khandhas. You have no cravings for the five khandhas.
Okay, I see. Another question, it's possible. Another question.
Okay.
Relevant to ill will and cruelty. What are different? I'm not. It is hard to explain when someone asks. Ill will and cruelty.
Evil and what? Evil and what?
Cruelty.
Cruelty and evil. Well, evil is an act of someone who is evil usually is cruel, have cruelty, have no metta, lack metta. Without metta, people will become cruel, have ill will, have hatred. This is evil. People who act is considered evil. Okay.
So
that's why we have to keep practicing metta to get rid of our cruelty from being evil. So we become kind. So we become kind with metta.
Okay. So cruelty is opposite of metta, or
that's right. It's the opposite.
Not karuna.
Metta and compassion, karuna also, both.
Okay. So, it is still explained relevant to metta, opposite of metta, and opposite of compassion.
Yeah, compassion. Okay.
So it's
all right.
Thank you, Kanachan.
Anybody else?
We have a new coming, Emily.
Emily?
Yeah,
okay.
Emily.
Welcome
okay,
to our room.
Where are you, Ajahn?
Hi, where are you from? Oh, from DC. I'm Mary Charlton.
Yeah, we're doing well. We're staying safe. Tomorrow is the big day here in this city, so hopefully it doesn't get too violent. I guess, Ajahn, I've been dealing with a lot of foot pain. I just recently had like minor surgery, and I'm struggling to stay focused and stay mindful during my meditation, and just like working through it has been quite a challenge. And I was wondering if there's a way how to manage pain and pains in the body and trying to meditate at the same time, just trying to get that better.
Well, you have to accept the pain if you cannot do anything about it. If you can do something about it, then do it, like seeing a doctor or applying some medicine or some therapy. But once you have done that and it's still there, then you just have to teach your mind to accept it, like accepting bad weather. Look at the pain like a bad weather, that you have to learn to live with it, that's all. And by not paying attention when you meditate, just focus on your meditation object and disregard the pain. Then
are painkillers regarded as like within the 5 precepts? I know it's not taking intoxicants is one of them. Is that along that line?
It depends on how you use it. If you use it to the point where you become addicted, then it's like breaking the fifth precept, like taking alcohol to alleviate your mental pain. But if you do it to alleviate your physical pain and not being addicted to it, then it's okay. But it's better not to rely on it if it's possible. Just rely on mindfulness instead. Use the Dhamma medicine. The Dhamma medicine is meditation. Once your mind becomes calm and have equanimity, then the painful feeling will not bother you. Okay?
Thank you, Ajahn.
All right. Well, I think maybe it's about time for us to end this meeting. It's about 2 hours and 40 minutes already. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much for your participation. I hope this meeting will give you some insight and help you advance in your practice. In the meantime, oh, by the way, we'll meet the same time next week on Tuesday again. So stay safe, stay healthy and mindful. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Thank you.
Sadhu, sadhu. Sadhu.
Thank you, admin พี่บอยพี่หลา
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, Abhi.